the night we brought Dr. King to this house. We kept him safe here until that next morning. And that's why we call this the Safe House, Black History Museum. We rented it out to some people and they moved it. So I said, we're not gonna rent it anymore. We're just gonna keep it as a memento. We're gonna keep it as a museum in memory of Dr. King. And you could see the barrels of their guns. And they had their head things on and looking out through the hoods. And they rode down, turned around, bumper to bumper, very slow, came back by. But I'm always thankful that they didn't stop because men were outside, but you couldn't see them because the night was black and we were black and they couldn't see us, but we could see them. And I often wonder, that was a stupid thing for them to do because they were a target, but they knew we were nonviolent and we weren't gonna harm them, and we didn't.
Do you think something would have happened had they stopped?
Sure, I'm almost sure that something would have happened had they stopped. Because we were determined that they were not going to get Dr. King.
It's an exciting day. Look at them rooms. Exciting. 20-inch rim. I drove a hybrid. So, 2 shotgun style houses. I left the door open. I don't want to get hurt out here. I don't want to get shot. Shotgun style houses. Ranch style, we call them. Ranch style. Shotgun because you can open the door and you can see straight through every room.
She was a beautiful lady, beautiful spirit, beautiful mind, beautiful heart, and strong-willed as well. Because this glamour shot was taken after a day of protest, and then that's a mug shot. Some man marching in the hot sun in Alabama, and it looked so...
She ain't sweat.
That's what I'm saying. And so when I saw that it just thought, that's not a mug shot, that's a glamour shot. Yeah, she was a beautiful lady, you know, and when I say, well, you know, we know,
Yeah.
I point out to the white ladies, you don't see any curls right there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it just tells me about her. And go ahead.
That's what she did for a living.
Right, that's what she did for a living. But no matter how often you do it, if you don't take care of yourself, you can get some little curls right there after sweat.
And one of these houses was a salon, right?
Yeah. And so, you know, that was what she died from the house back then.
I knew that. That's where she passed away.
I said that, but that was her home.
Okay.
Whether she was there or not, or in the hospital, but that was her home when she died. That was what she called home.
And her daughter's still there.
Yeah, and she's got another daughter, Tony Love, who lives in Atlanta.
Okay.
She comes over quite often to take care of her.
I saw the picture of Tony Love, and she's doing the hair now, huh?
Right. She's doing hair, and she's got maybe a beauty college or something. But
Yeah.
another strong lady, I think, in that. You know,
Learned from her mom.
yeah, but also she's a strong-willed person as well. And so you know you Burroughs, how you Burroughs, are you strong-willed?
She married into a Burroughs, right? Didn't she marry a Burroughs?
Yes, she did. She was a Turner. But it's in her vein. It takes a strong-willed lady to be married to a strong-willed man.
Right.
Yeah.
What do y'all do with y'all cows?
So.
Yeah. Raise them and sell them, huh?
The mothers that have babies, you can't have baby, mama, you got to go. But anyway, Ms. Burroughs, I'm gonna show you a video. This is actually a part of a shackle that was used to enslave.
Yeah.
And so it was an ugly thing, slavery was. And we need not forget. I have an older couple came back to see the museum, But we're talking about how ugly slavery was and how ugly it was. And one of the things we talked about was one of the books that came out that we used in the Florida school system was they said that African Americans came from Africa to America to find jobs. Talking about slavery.
Jobs where you ain't get paid.
Right. We came to America. And so that's the history they want to tell.
Yeah.
But we have to tell our own story. We have to tell our own. If we don't tell it, they're not going to tell it fairly, and we're not going to tell it right. And so it was ugly. It was mean. And if people say, I don't want to hear that, this is what your foreparents did to my foreparents. This quote by Langston Hughes.
Langston Hughes.
You have a moment?
Freedom is not free.
That's right.
I had to fight for it. I had to die for it.
Right.
It's not free. I had to work for it.
Yeah. So you got time to watch a 20-minute video?
Yes, sir.
Good. I'm going to show you this right here. I'm going to sit down and watch it with you. Miss Burroughs, there's an interview done by Miss Burroughs.
This came from a house here in Greensboro. This black man bought the house and he was cleaning up and he went to the attic of the house and he found this in the attic. This is a shackle that they put on the runaway slaves. And they put this one on like, this is how they kept the slaves from running away. And the group came through from Tanzania and they brought the thumb piano. I remember the book, The Invisible Man. We were just invisible people. So we had to do something. My name is Theresa Burroughs, and I live in Greensboro, Alabama. I've lived here most of my life. I was involved in the civil rights movement from the very beginning. I remember the Bible says that in the fullness of time, all things shall come to pass. And I think this was just time. Well, my first memory of a race issue was when I was 10 years old. And we had a store called Soka Brothers. And it was a furniture store. And the people would deliver furniture to the homes. And then they would come every week to collect the money. So one day, the children, and I was about 10 years old, and we was playing out in the yard. So the man came by to collect from the people that lived in the next house. So he asked us, did we know the people? And I said, yes. He stopped, cut the motor off on the truck, and he gets out. And he walks up to me, and I was 10 years old, and he said, listen, nigga. He said, don't you ever say yes to a white man or a white person. Say you said yes, sir, or yes, ma'am. Don't you ever. And it really frightened me because it was as if I had done something wrong.